we call it? Hold on. The secret weapon, if anything. You know what? This is kind of interesting once again, in that um I want to make sure. Okay, there we go. There we go. There we go. I just wanted to make sure that this is actually playing. You know what? This is There we go. So with that being said, yeah, and shout out to the Arizona Cardinals. I was actually born in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
different group of people. But okay, Cardinals nevertheless.
interesting, interesting. So, are you from Arizona? Is that why you're a fan?
St. Louis Cardinals.
Oh wait, these aren't the
STL,
Arizona Cardinals.
this STL baby, St. Louis. Like we're
Saint.
the original Cardinals. We're the original Cardinals.
Oh, so the Cardinals moved to Arizona after Saint.
No, we have St. Louis Cardinals. We are the original Redbirds. We are the original Cardinals. Yeah, we the St. Louis Cardinals. That's a different team you're talking about. Yeah, we're
Oh.
in Midwest.
Oh, so there's the St. Louis Cardinals and then there's the Arizona Cardinals.
Right.
Oh,
We
that's
used to be called the Redbirds back in the day. You know, back in the day. Yeah, we the original Cardinals, the Cards.
so south to St. Louis. That's what's up. That's what's up. Okay. Wait. Are you from St. Louis?
I live in the St. Louis, Missouri area. Yes, sir. I've been out
Okay.
here for a number of years now.
How close is that to Kansas City, Missouri?
It's about 4 hours.
4 hours. Okay. I used to live at Lenexa and Gardner. So Kansas City, Kansas would be like pretty close, but
Yeah, like 4.5 hours, something like that.
4 hours. All right, that's what's up. Midwest, that's really what's good. I know my experience of the Midwest is compared to like the East Coast and West Coast. It kind of reminds me a bit of Texas in that it's still very like Bible Belt, like Christian kind of
Yeah.
area, which is interesting. Do you think it's still like that, or is it a bit more like open
In St. Louis,
in just the Midwest in general?
Midwest, you got that. You got that. It's a cross between Baptist, Pentecostal, type feel. You get that, but nevertheless, it is Christian. It's Christian, mostly, predominantly Christian. In the
Okay.
Midwest, you have other ethnicities that practice, Muslim or Islam and things of that nature, but mostly Christian.
Beautiful. And do you happen to remember your natal chart for those who
Ah, don't be trying to put me on the spot, bro. I ain't
yeah.
had time, none of that. No, I just remember some of the stuff that you were saying, like everything was in Leo, basically. We were talking about twin flames. We were talking about sun rising, Virgo. We were talking about, yeah, that's basically what I remember, man. I don't remember too much about. We didn't really go into too many details about it, but kind
Do
of
you remember your moon sign?
moon sign. I don't.
Was it in Leo? One of the
It
main-
might be in Leo. It
I know
might be.
I know you have your sun in Leo and your rising in Virgo for sure.
Right. The rising is in Virgo. I think everything else was in Leo, something in Cancer, something in Taurus.
Okay.
You still got the information. Why don't you just blow it up, put it up there?
I got the chart. In fact, let me just pull it up right now.
Yeah, you playing, bro.
Yeah.
You got me in the kitchen. I'm cooking. I'm trying to fix me something to eat. I'm like, oh man, we got this peace talk. And I'm like, man, my brother, where is he at? Shoot.
Yeah, I'm a very last minute, late minute kind of person. There we go. So yeah, your moon is actually in Leo. Let me share this real quick. Which is really cool because to see you were born on the new moon in Leo here, while also simultaneously, we're going through a new moon. That must be pretty intense. You got your new moon on Uranus with Uranus opposite on your Chiron. And I can't actually looking forward to talking about this because you're actually a master Reiki healer.
True.
I've come to learn that Leo is the central quality of the light of Christ. And so Sun and Leos are blessed with the glory of God. And like y'all inspire us with that light. So I mean in the 12th, that must be a life full of, supernatural realization and being misunderstood. But definitely what I've come to understand about Leo, Scorpio, and Taurus and Aquarius, which you have these energies, is they're all energy. And so, you are clearly a legendary master of harnessing energy. And I like how Reflection said that's why people hate us. Like, there's a lot of evil people in this world, and regardless of any personality issues any Leos may have, like I've noticed a lot more people just be jealous of y'all, or actually they just be hating on y'all.
Hating, bro. I'm talking about haters gonna hate. Hey, I just did a video, man. I just did a YouTube video called Casting Out Fear. It's more so for our youth, but I mean, anyone can relate to it. I just did a YouTube video, Dr. Kingya Speaks, on Casting Out Fear on YouTube. I've got all the white on and I'm talking about it, man. It's interesting. It's very interesting. Being a fire sign, having all that intensity, right? People say we're intense.
Yeah.
We intimidate a lot of different people, It's not intentional. It's
just the presence. It's like a lion. It's like being in the presence of a lion. Like, you got to watch how you move, and just really just the presence. And once again, y'all have the highest dignity in astrology. Like the sun, and a lot of people will never understand how strong the sun in Leo is. Given how our whole solar system revolves around the sun. So it's just really interesting. But your story is very inspiring, brother. Especially when I met you, you had spoken of just coming out of homelessness. And that's also a very 12th house theme, the hidden nature of certain things. So especially there's so much I want to speak on. I'm trying to say it all at once. So really speaking on that, do you mind sharing your story with us? How did you really get to where you're at now? I know it didn't happen overnight. So and you're a doctor. You actually have a certification. So could you speak to us about that? It's very interesting.
Yeah, I was a pretty dark space and place in my life, man. About 4 years ago, I ended up losing custody of my children to my ex-wife. Subsequently, was placed on child support, and I still don't know how today, because I was raising our children from the time they were born up until about 4 years ago. My son was 10, my daughter was 9. They're about 10 months apart.
Wow.
And so the kicker is, though, I was losing my sister to stage 4 pancreatic cancer first while fighting a custody.
Wow. So you got hit with it all at once.
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. It was a lot going on, a lot of lies, scandalous, scheming stuff going on with, my ex-wife and her girlfriends, things of that nature. And, as a result, I got a book coming out. I'm publishing it soon.
Hey, there we go. That's what's up. Looking forward to that.
It's just propelling me forward, brother. Just propelling me forward. So I ended up having to sell both of my vehicles that I owned. I sold pretty much everything because I was placed on child support. And I'm like, ain't no way in hell I'm going to be behind on child support. Like, my ex-wife owed me $10,000 in arrears when she filed against me to get custody of our children. Like, how does this happen? So I'm like, nah, I'm going to sell whatever I can sell. I'm going to salvage whatever I can salvage because I'm going to be there for mine no matter what. This judicial system is biased as hell. It's messed up. It's screwed up how they did me. But guess what? I'm not the only person that they've done this way. So what do? I just kept hustling, man, kept grinding. I was an over-the-road truck driver for a while. And then, I stacked up some money. And, every check I got, man, I was paying attorneys to help me get my children back. Unfortunately, I ran into some shady attorneys where they just ran off with my monies.
Damn.
And, subsequently, man, that was pretty much the downfall. I lost everything, man. I couldn't keep up with child support, couldn't keep up with rent, all that stuff. So I ended up being homeless, man, and living in a tent for about 3.5 years, and homeless for 4 years, wherever I could stay, hotel, on the streets, wherever, whatever. I was staying in my vehicles at one point in time, and then I had to sell those because child support happened, and then every tax returns. You file taxes, and guess who gets your taxes? Your tax returns. My ex-wife. Stimulus checks. You guys got those? You know about the stimulus checks? Because I don't know what a stimulus check is. I never got one. It went straight to my ex-wife. So every penny that came in garnishments from my employment, my I was issued garnishments, so they were garnishing my wages. So I couldn't win. I couldn't win. I couldn't keep up, and so I was living in a tent, man. Wherever I could find peace. It was never a consistent space where I would be. I would have to move around because it was just crazy. Yeah. So
Amen
my
to
health,
that.
my health had started failing me. I got diabetes, arthritis, and all types of stuff, man.
I didn't know that. That's wild.
Yeah. I mean, inclement weather, being out there in inclement weather, man. Like 3.5 years ago, they were like, I went in for something else, and the doctors were like, yeah, go pick up your prescription. I pick up my prescription for Walgreens, and one of the medications is metformin. I'm like, what's this? I don't know what this is. So I call Walgreens, like, yo, I think y'all made a mistake. What is this? And so they're like, yeah, you got diabetes. What? No, I ain't got diabetes. So yeah, that was a pretty interesting scare. For sure.
So it basically felt like you were being spiritually attacked at all angles.
Yeah, I signed a contract, brother. I signed a contract before I came here.
Here we
I
go.
signed a spiritual contract.
Right.
And
And
so
no, please keep going. I was gonna just say to reference that we actually see this in your chart,
really,
with your Saturn position.
huh,
Let me pull that up.
okay.
There's certain things between that and when you talk about your degree,
Mhm.
that blew my mind as well. That blew my freaking mind. So, but please keep going on. You were saying what about the
Yeah. So the diabetes thing happened. I lost my sister, lost custody, lost my vehicles, all that stuff. So I'm going from place to place. And when my sister was passing away of cancer, that's when I really embraced my higher consciousness. While I was going through that fire, while I was going through that hell,
where you came with a contract? There we go.
right? I came with a contract. We
Oh my gosh, sorry to interrupt you. Oh my goodness, that
you're
is
good.
crazy. Because what you just said, and for anyone else who has this, and this is why men choose MG Toe after dealing with a narc, and a lot of people kind of go the other way and start like blaming women or acting like women or whatever. But I'm
I gotta
glad
turn this food off. Give me 1 second.
there's different polarities with it. You have a lot of men who kind of have bad experiences with certain women and then project it on all women. But yeah, and Sharon, I appreciate you so much sharing your position, because we usually hear that a lot of these things happen to women, men. You know what I'm saying? You rarely hear the case where men take women to child support. So that's very interesting. But yes, the living definition of what you just said, bro. And you didn't, please mind you, Dr. Kingya, he didn't know his chart. He didn't know
I
this.
don't know.
He said he has North Node conjunct Saturn on his rising. That means that he literally came into this lifetime with karma. He had a contract with which he incarnated, which is just so utterly profound to me. Wow.
Wow.
You literally came into this life, South Node Pisces, with metaphysical understanding of other people and existence. It's like you're in a divine partnership with existence. It's amazing.
Interesting.
Yeah. But for you to say that you came here with a contract, the way you said it was just such a deep inner knowing. And that's what triggered, wait, you have Saturn and the North Node on your, so this whole lifetime is discovery of you coming into yourself and the contract to share this divine light, which is just
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
So
And that's where I am right now in my life, just really understanding this and coming to consciousness, conscious awareness that we tend to ask God, why me? Why am I going through this? Why am I experiencing this? Well, a voice came back to me and said, why not? See, I grew up in the church as a child. We taught godly and biblical principles, and that God will test you. And, everyone in the Bible was tested. Everyone in the Bible that was tested, God
Yeah,
used for his greater purpose.
that's so
So
true.
who am I to question and ask God when Job had everything taken away from him? When
Yep.
David was tested, when David was tested multiple times, Daniel was tested. All the prophets were tested and tried and or assassinated. I mean, we could bring it to modern days. What, 50 years ago? Malcolm X, Martin Luther King Jr., Fred Hampton Jr. I mean, Fred Hampton Sr. A lot of people, Noble Drew, everybody had to be tried and tested. Everybody went through the fire.
Yep.
I had to go through the fire. So I came out and I prevailed, hence Kingya. And I never lost focus of my goal. While I was losing my sister to cancer, I embraced Reiki. I was a level 1, level 2 when my sister passed, before my sister passed away. After she passed away, I became a level 3. Today, I'm a level 3 Reiki. I'm a Reiki master teacher in about 5 different modalities: Usui traditional Reiki, Kundalini Reiki, Tibetan Reiki, Chikara Reiki, Do Reiki massage. I've so many, man, so many. And to God be the glory, because this has helped keep me. It has kept me sane. It has kept me balanced for the most part. I'm not saying that I'm perfect. I make I've had learning experiences, right? I've had to learn through trials and tribulations, yet I'm not a victim. I overcame myself. You see, I used to look for love in all the wrong places.
There we go.
I've always been a compassionate person. In fact, when I was doing poetry, poetry is my first love. I started reading and writing through poetry when I was like 14 and expressing myself to myself then, but I fell off of that. And so now I find myself with a different type of voice where I'm speaking and I'm motivating, I'm educating, I'm being an inspiration, I'm saving someone's life, perhaps, maybe even yours. So my journey has changed a little bit. While being homeless, I was able to obtain my master's degree, my doctor's degree. I have an honorary doctor's of divinity degree, and now doctorates in metaphysics.
While being homeless, y'all. That's legendary. That is legend. How many people make excuses too, like, oh, I can't finish school because this. You didn't have a home to rest your head, and you didn't get a bachelor's. You got a doctorate and a master's.
Yeah,
Jesus,
yeah,
that part right there. That is just like wow. And could you say what you got it in once again? Because that's
yeah.
also
So sure, I have a honorary doctor's of divinity, and I have a doctorate in metaphysics. Metaphysics.
both divinity and metaphysics are ruled by Pisces. And I love
Hmm.
that you put your south node there. It's like you came into this life with that wisdom. It's so wild. That's so interesting.
I
Yeah.
like how you just everything I say, you just apply it to the science, and I love it, man. It's brilliant.
And as a researcher, like it's helping me understand how to make sense of these two. So I just really appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, I
But
appreciate you for sure, because I'm learning from you, man. I'm definitely learning a whole lot from you, and I appreciate this opportunity and what you got going on with the peace dealer.
yes,
Peace
sir.
thoughts.
No, definitely. And also, given like the diagnosis that you got, how did Reiki help you overcome all that?
You know, Reiki transcends time, space, and dimensions. It has no limits. So, unfortunately, it was not able to bring my sister back,
Hmm.
but I had to really internalize what her loss meant to me, what her loss meant to our family. I had to utilize Reiki first here and then here to begin healing myself.
Mm.
I noticed that when I would apply Reiki on my sister before she passed away, it helped. It helped ease her pain.
Mhm.
The last 7 days of her life, as she lay in hospice in our mother's home, she was pain free,
That is so amazing.
pain free.
Yeah.
And so I utilized Reiki on me to help me through the trials that I was going through, the mental battles, the anguish, the anxiety, the depression. Because I sunk into a state of depression. Mental illness had a hold of me. They took I lost my sister. They took my children. The only thing I ever knew, loved, cherished, and had every day waking up to, changing diapers, showing my babies how to, walk and talk and be potty trained. I'm the reason why they have those little things in the men's restroom now where you can change the baby diaper changing things. Because I used to carry my babies in my arm and change their diapers in my arms because they didn't have those when I was raising them.
Yeah.
So I look back on certain things like that as a father. You know,
Right.
Reiki has really helped me grow spiritually.
No, that's so fascinating because I've always been skeptical of Reiki healing too. Stepping into this path, like I've always believed healing was possible, but like I didn't really believe that. Like, I've always been very cerebral, and it's like I can't see it, I can't feel it, and I'm not the most sensitive to energy. So it took me a while to really accept that it's legit. And I would like do healings with people, but it's always just conceptual to me. I would just have to give in faith that it worked. But I remember one time I had a stuffy nose,
Mhm.
and I asked my mom for some antibiotics, but she's in another state, and so it wasn't going to come in until like 2 days. But
Mhm.
I couldn't sleep. Like my nose was so stuffy I couldn't breathe. So I instinctually grab a selenite wand, and I just feel like healing energy flowing through it for like 25 minutes. In 25 minutes, I can breathe now.
Yeah.
And it wasn't fully healed, but I reinforce it the next day. By the time the antibiotics come, I don't even
You
need
didn't
it.
even know. Right. You didn't need to.
Months. And that was like one of my first breakthroughs, like, oh my gosh, like this actually works. And then another time was right before my dog died. We don't know if he got poisoned, but like his hip broke. And like I remember, so he couldn't really get up. So I was just like, putting Reiki intent on his hip and just like petting him and whatnot. Like a few days later, he would have been put down and he passed, right?
Yeah.
But like that really, it was such an interesting moment because like he got up and started walking, and it's almost as if like I healed him. And the message was like, wow, like if I did this earlier, would he have been so much healed? Like it was a message like, don't wait till it's too late to like heal those you care about and stuff like that. So it was really a game changer. But I still would consider my experience. I think I'm a very talented healer, but my experience with healing is still a beginner. I would consider myself still, So I'm really fascinated with you healers and people who are masters like you. And personally, I love how you said you worked on your heart and your mind so that you could heal yourself. Um, do you mind breaking down a bit, like the 5 different types of Reiki? Because I want to get into Kundalini yoga and Kundalini Reiki. And I remember asking you, yeah, what do you think about that? And you made a point to be like, whoa, 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 you have to. There's levels to this and steps,
Right.
so you got to do like Usui first.
Baby
So
steps, bro. Baby steps. First, I appreciate you for mentioning that. Um, you mentioned a few things I want to touch bases on. We know that God exists, whether
mhm,
you think or affirm that it is a man, woman, or it, God exists. You don't see God, but you know God exists.
right,
Just like the wind, we don't see the wind, but we know that the wind exists.
right,
We pray. We don't see prayer, but we know that prayer works.
yep.
Prayer and Reiki is the same thing.
That's deep. Okay.
Prayer, Reiki, God, and the universe, it's the same thing. In the scripture, it says, and I'm not a religious person, but in the scripture, it says that knocking the door will be open, seek and you'll find, ask and it'll be given to you. Well, what is the law of attraction? What are the laws of attraction? The laws of attraction says the same thing, right? You put it into the universe. You ask it. You demand it. So it's all about your intent. It's all about your intent.
Right.
I would say this in regards to Reiki, because Reiki is metaphysics. God is in the metaphysical world, the cosmos, the universe, the energy, the Mother Earth, the world. It's all metaphysics, right? So, Usui traditional Reiki was founded by a Japanese Christian who was a monk.
A Japanese Christian. I didn't know he was Christian. Steve.
Yep, Japanese Christian. Yep. And so he was challenged. He began doing research, and it was when he was on a mountain, Mount Karama, where he was given these instruments, these tools, this modality as a healer. So it was given to him. He was attuned as a Reiki master teacher, the first. He founded Usui traditional Reiki.
Okay.
And the schools and the universities and the hospitals had challenged him to show us this healing power of God within you. This is where the word healing touch came from, the laying on of the hands. We get that in church. We hear that a lot. Because Usui would lay his hands or fingers on people and they would be healed.
Wow.
That's where that term comes from. Now we know in the Bible it talks about Jesus healing people, but it never said that Jesus touched someone. He just said he spoke to them and said, "Get up. You're sleep. You're not dead. You're sleeping. Wake up." He never touched them. So Usui
will touch people.
Dr. Usui, he formulated Usui Reiki, and part of it is where you touch someone. And the other part is you don't have to touch anyone. Like, the Peace Dealer and we had a session, what was it, a few weeks ago? And I did Reiki on him.
And you did. Yep. It was very peaceful. It's cool because you have Chiron and Taurus, and that's specifically natural healing that's induced by physical touch. Super strong, which is super awesome. It's not limited. You don't have to, right? But when you do, it's going to be stronger than when most people, which is super awesome.
Oh yeah, it gets intense, bro. I mean, it does some things for you, man. For real.
I bet that it's very hot when you heal people too.
Yeah, it can be. It affects people differently. So I'll tell you a few scenarios that I have. There's no limits. I do Reiki on my plants. I do Reiki on animals, people, whatever. And the effects is pretty much the same. You're going to feel much better. You're going to feel great. I had a sister who had cut her finger. I mean, she cut it deep, and I said, "Let me do some Reiki on it for you." I mean, it was dripping blood. I did some Reiki. It stopped the blood. It stopped. She was like, "It just stopped." Hey, bro, I had a young lady had a hand like this. She had lost all contraction in her hand. It was just like this. It was stiff stuff. The doctors didn't know why or how. She couldn't pick up anything. She couldn't do anything. Bro, 20 minutes of Reiki with me. She'd been like this for years. 20 minutes of Reiki with me, bro. I told her, open up your fingers. Bro, she went like this. She said, it hurts. I said, I know. Open your fingers. Open your hand. Bro, she opened up her hand. I say, now pick up this glass. She picked up the glass. And she said, can you please take me home? I never heard from her again. She couldn't believe it. She could not believe it. She was like, she couldn't believe it.
Oh my gosh. But that was my feeling too, when like my nose kind of unblocked because I wasn't expecting anything. And it was just like, Racky? Hold on, like how? Like this is but that I love the story, the miraculous stories from this, because it's just like wow, you know what I mean? And it puts into greater context why you see holistic doctors and healers of this getting targeted and being scoffed at and all that. So that's so phenomenal. That's so phenomenal. I bet you have so many more experiences like that too. But
I do, man. So many, man. It's just great. And the shocker is, I'm from the hood. I grew up in the hood, bro. So it's like, in our community, you don't see too many healers in our community, right?
exactly, not at all. You're
And it's
actually
like,
that I've
you
seen
did
like
what?
that.
How'd you do that? That's voodoo? What? No, 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 no. So
Right.
yeah, it's interesting, bro.
And Usui Reiki, when I learned it, because I had the manual for I think level one, what turned me off of it? Because to me, Reiki is just like, oh, you just think of it's very cerebral. It's like you think about it, you think you're channeling healing energy, and I guess you feel like you're putting energy out. I think that might be limiting my understanding of it. And I saw with Usui Reiki, you draw symbols and stuff, and I just didn't like that you had to draw symbols because I thought Reiki was just, oh, you're just moving energy. So I'm willing to humble myself and just like, be the full card and just learn, what it works. But I'm assuming it's way deeper than that. It's not just
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you mentioned that. That's a great analysis because I'm going to answer that right now. So there's different schools of thought. There's different modalities, right? There's Usui traditional Reiki, which I highly recommend for anyone that has never ever experienced Reiki, or you want to start somewhere, start there. Now, it's just like martial arts. I don't know if you've ever been in martial arts.
a
Have
little
you?
bit. I'm gonna go back into it.
Okay.
I've done like, but not really, not really. But
Okay.
just like,
So my point is martial arts, sports, music, or whatever, you have an instructor, you have a sensei, you have a teacher, you have someone, a coach, you have someone that's teaching you, right? They have their way of teaching you because it's theirs, it's patented, it's copywritten. So you got to
oh,
follow their manual, right?
right,
In order for that system and that school of thought to work for you,
right.
right? So that's it. They give you the blueprint for their school, and you're a student and you learn from that teacher. Now, Kundalini Reiki is different. It's different, but it's more intense, and you have to be ready for that because when I say fire, it is fire.
And I'm glad you said that because I just thought that it was all universal energy. I thought it
Oh,
all was the same. So I'm glad you said that.
well, it's all universal energy, but there's different levels to this. There's different keys to this. Like
Okay.
there's a master's degree, there's a doctorate degree, right? Like before you get there, you got to do what? You got to get your bachelor's degree. You got to get your
And
associate's degree.
is the foundation, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So I hate to interrupt you because this is so fascinating. And to answer your question, Jackie, Dr. Kingya spoke on this earlier. Reiki is like prayer. We can't see prayer or air, but we believe it's metaphysical, it comes through, and that's like Reiki. But this question that Sanchia asked is the reason why I've been stuck. Like the reason why I offer cosmic energy tune-ups, but I don't offer healings, is when I first started this path, I believed that, oh, you shouldn't charge for healings. Like, that's not right. Like, healing should be free. And then, like, years later, I met someone who does that, and she let me know, it's really more the time that people are paying for.
That's right.
And it's just like offering consultations. So, what do you feel about that question? I've been hesitant to do healing services because I didn't feel like I was even though a lot of psychics are like, yo, you have amazing healing ability, but I just felt like I would be wrong to charge for healing. So I haven't necessarily, I feel like I have to be like a master's degree and understand and know how it works before I offer it. But yeah, what do you feel about that? Uh-oh.
So I want to say this because you were kind of going like this. You were freezing up a little bit. It was cute. It was cool, but you were going all like this. So I will say this. Yeah, you get for your time. In some master teachers, their fee is $10,000 to $20,000 to become a Reiki master teacher. Okay, so of it can be pretty expensive. Some
Yes.
master teachers, because you go through the different modalities, you go through the different phases, and you're paying for the time, and you're instructing other people on how to be master teachers and all of
Right.
these things. So yes, you should absolutely be paid for your time, absolutely. And
Okay.
yeah, healing is free, like water is free, but you pay for it, right? Because you
That's
need
so
it, right? So
right, right.
you if you need a service, to show your appreciation to the master teacher and pay him or her whatever fee it is that they suggest that you pay or donate.
For the service, right? It's like
It's a service.
car
Yes.
maintenance. You get a service fee. So yeah,
Yes.
that makes sense. That's deep. Okay,
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
that's awesome.
It's a
I would.
lot of work. It's not just going in and healing. It's really going in and doing work. Some of us healers, we get real into it. Like I could do a body scan on someone, and I could stop in certain places and say, okay, there's something going on right here. What happened? And you're like, oh my god. I was doing Reiki on a young lady. I do it on anyone, but I was doing it on. It's mostly women that need it or want it. And so she was lying on the massage table. I was just scanning her body from head to toe. And then I went back, my eyes were closed and I stopped. It was right here over her face. I said, what's going on? What's going on with your head, your face area? What happened? There's a lot of hurt there. There's healing that needs to take place right here. And she goes, I had facial reconstruction surgery. I said, that was it. Yeah. So it will guide you, it will teach you, it will show you what you need to do.
And what you said, by the way, is the textbook definition of Uranus opposite Taurus, Chiron and Taurus. Because Uranus claircognizantly has you just automatically know where the body needs healing. So for you to say it like that is just like, wow, like, because as an astrologer,
Yeah.
I'll see these interpretations, but it's just conceptual. So when you meet actual people who live it, it's just I love it. This is what I love about what I do. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
It's just like wow. And Jeanette said something very interesting. $10,000, you bugging. And there's a part of me that understands where she's coming from because like I'm the type of person that believes education period should be free. The teacher should be, of course, compensated for what they're doing. So I understand that, but I also understand the irony of a statement like that because a lot of people will have no problem paying 40,000, 50,000, taking student loans out for a professional degree or for a certificate. But when it comes to spiritual services, now it's automatically too much. And I peeped that. I started to kind of call myself out on that behavior too. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting because you have to look at these master teachers because once they obtain that master attunement, that master level, now they have people working under them. So if you want to see the master teacher, then you have to pay the cost to see the master teacher. That's like going to a concert. You're not just going to go up and see Jeezy or go up and see a Jay-Z. And no, you're going to pay. You're going to pay to get that backstage, with them. So yeah, you're going to pay that premium cost. So
True. And of course, if the value can be backed up. So just real quick, you mentioned Usui. Could you speak on the other ones you're practitioners of too, or you're a master of too?
sure. So Kundalini Reiki, it could be more intense. Um, you can use or utilize more of your energy using Kundalini Reiki. It can be draining because it's a combination of universal energy and
And
your energy.
I hate to interrupt, but just to question this, she said for just healing is too much. A college degree is going to get me a job, but you're not paying for just healing. When you're paying that much, you're paying to learn how to teach Reiki and how to make a living and do it as a job. So you're going to be able to get money from doing it. Just to kind of,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. So when I attune students to Reiki level 1, Reiki level 2, Reiki level 3, you become a master teacher. You can teach it anywhere. You can open up shop. You can do it. You could do it remotely. I've done it. It's on you. And I was here and you were home. So it's not a job, it's a career. It's a calling. It's a gift. It's a gift. Kundalini Reiki is beautiful. But again, I would suggest Usui Reiki because with Usui Reiki, it is all divine universal energy. You're not depleting yourself of the energy at all. You're just a vessel. You're just there letting God do the work and the energy is just flowing through. Some of y'all feel it now. The energy is just flowing through, and you're not drained, you're not tired, you're still energetic, so there's different there's different modalities, there are different methods of doing this stuff. Tibetan Reiki is different. Tibetan Reiki, it's utilizing glasses, glasses and water, and there's different processes that you have to master. Like when you become a Reiki master teacher, I got one Reiki master teacher in Grenada right now in the country, right? He's mad. He's water bending, water bending. He's pushing water back. He's bringing water forward. I've seen a video where there was this brother in Africa. He was speaking to the water. He was speaking to I think it's the ocean or something, and he was moving it. He's like, da, 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 da. Stay, come back, go. And he was just water bending. I just love it when you are able to be more in tune with yourself and the universe. Man, we are all powerful. We're all powerful beings.
I love how Casey said one of the biggest mind blowers for me was discovering firsthand the reality of distance work.
Yes.
That was a huge block because I was like, is it stronger in person or how strong is the distance? But like you said, it transcends time and space.
Mm-hmm.
So this is amazing.
And you felt it. You felt it. What I like to say is this: you will definitely get a hands-on experience if you're face to face. However, if there's distance healing that needs to take, it's still going to be the same. The effects are still going to be the same. You're still going to get it, right? Obviously, I can't touch you because you're not here. That's the only difference.
That's deep. And my bad. So so the Usui, the Kundalini brings the fire, and then what was the other Reiki that you were speaking of?
Sure. So there's Usui, there's Kundalini, Tibetan Reiki. Tibetan Reiki, I was attuned to that. You have to use water, learn how to use water, glasses, and things of that nature. And then there is Chikara Reiki Do. There's Reiki Massage, TM, trademarked by me. So I do a combination of things with the Reiki massage. I do services that normal or traditional Reiki masters wouldn't do. Like I've obtained different skill sets that I can go in and do different things, and I can perform differently. And like instead of using my whole hand, I could use a finger or two fingers and point and do what I do. And then you're still going to receive the benefits of the Reiki. Like I don't have to touch you anymore as a master teacher. I can just do distance work.
There's somebody who charged like $10,000 just so like she can snap her fingers and then you can get her healing powers. And it just seems so much like a scam, but she's actually a well-known, healer. So this is where I kind of resonate with Jeanette, where like sometimes I feel like that's just so much. I get what you mean, where it's like if they're popular and known, you're going to pay a higher price. But sometimes I've always felt like when you're a natural healer, you don't need to be taught it. You're just born with it. But then KC just said, yeah, people are born with it, but attunements change a person. So could you speak to that? Let's see. Got some interference. I hope you peep. I feel like because what he's talking about is so important, we're actually facing some frequency interference. Mainly too, just because this didn't really happen until he started talking. Oh, all perfect.
Right. Here we go.
The interference, bro. They're trying to block you.
I know. What was the question?
The question was, I kind of resonate with Jeanette. Like I've always felt like I don't need anyone to attune me in Reiki because I was born with these abilities. You know what I mean? Like we all have the natural ability. But then KC said, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, everyone is born with a natural ability, but an attunement will change somebody. So
Absolutely.
could you speak on the necessary need for attunements? And we're going to step into the 3 questions game and just kind of slide into it, just for sake of time.
Okay.
And basically, we'll take turns asking each other questions.
Sweet.
Normally, I'll have you go first, but I'll go first. I'll ask you a question, and you can ask me a question, and then I'll ask you a question. We'll go 2 rounds. So my first question for you is, what's the significance of attunements? Why, what, how does having an attunement versus not having one make a difference?
So you can go so far. It's kind of like you have the instructions for riding a bike, and then you have the applied knowledge of how to ride the bike.
Right.
So the attunement, we're all healers, we all have gifts. But
Okay.
once you are attuned, then you can turn around and attune others to it. Once you are attuned, you become more powerful in that. Okay. Because you're taking on that energy of your master teacher. So your master teacher's energy.
I hate to interrupt you. It reminds me of this anime and Hunter x Hunter, where in order for these 2 people to get initiated, they had to do the quick method. But basically, someone laid hands on them and bursted their energy through them. And so it's like they needed someone else to do it to open up the pores. It's not like they could do it themselves. And then they were able to like harness it after. Is it kind of like that?
Exactly. You got it. You got it. It's exactly like that. Exactly.
So it's like I can teach myself chemistry and I can do all the research, or I can pay someone who's already a master chemist to teach me what they know and save me so much time.
That's
right?
it.
Basically, okay.
That's it. Because you have your own Reiki guide. And when you are tuned by a master teacher, you also have his or her Reiki guides working through you as well.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. It's basically like taking your car to a mechanic and working out your kinks so your Reiki can run smooth. That's so beautiful. So, I mean, I'm just going to say right now, I definitely would like to get a tune from you and work more closely and learn Reiki from you. I think that's the next step for me.
I'd be honored, brother. I got you. I'd be honored. And anyone else that's interested. So my question to you is, I know you've been on this journey for a little while. Why me? Why do you want to be attuned by me?
Oh, no, great question. Great question. Because I've gotten an attunement distance from somebody who offered it online, and it just didn't feel real to me. Did it work? I believe it worked. You know what I mean? But it just wasn't necessarily. I don't feel like I didn't really follow up with it. I didn't really practice it as much as I could. I think I needed it, and I think it worked for what I needed at the time. But I've realized Reiki is cosmic universal force energy, and I think that Leos who do Reiki are or Scorpios or Aquariuses or Tauruses are a lot stronger at Reiki than any other representative, because y'all harness energy directly. I feel like, especially with my South Node and Leo, like that's just the direction. Like it would make the most sense for the Leo energy to kind of step into and be attuned to that.
You ready for that?
Exactly, like, I don't even think I know what I'm stepping into. So
You ready for that?
I'm with it. I'm with it. Let's get it.
I
Oh,
have 12. I have 12 students, bro. I appreciate that. So,
I'm on the 13th. Is that what you said?
yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
You'll be number 13, number 4, and then it'll start over from
13 disciples. You don't got 12 disciples anymore.
right. Listen, my youngest Reiki master teacher just turned 11 years old. His mother was taking my course. They live in Florida. His mother was taking my online course, and he was really interested. And so I said, okay, we'll see. I'm gonna test him and see. I'm gonna see if he's really interested or not. And so, bro, he did the homework, and he was really applying himself, and he was doing everything, bro. And so I said, yeah, he's ready. He's on fire. He's ready. Bam. Took him through the process. I did a 30-day challenge with them one-on-one for 30 days. I gave them all of me, bro. I've never done that before. I gave them all of access to me every day for 30 days. They're all Reiki master teachers.
That's amazing.
All over the world. In Africa, Grenada, St. Lucia, New York, Florida, Midwest. I mean, time and space, bro. They travels.
That's so awesome.
It travels.
So awesome.
They love it.
But yeah, I mean, and I love that they're younger too, because it's like they learn it quicker, and the younger generation just has such a more advanced connection with that. But yeah, that's why, bro. That's why I feel like this is the next step. And if I was gonna step into it, why not the king of energy? You know what I mean? So let's get it. Especially Sunday.
I'm humbled. I appreciate you. Hey, you got to wear something red though.
Word. Yeah, I love that. It's so Leo. It's correct. I got you. I got you on that. So other than that, my second question to you is personally, you know, because when we did the podcast, it was breast cancer awareness, right? So personally, and SJ Starzy, well, there's a link in the description box below. You can hit him up. He should be able to hook you up with an attunement, or you can schedule something with him. But could you speak more to the shoes you're selling and how that really came about and how that's been doing?
Wow. Okay. All right. Good deal. Good deal. So when I lost my sister to cancer, I thought of a way that I could keep her memory alive. I thought of a way that I could keep her legacy alive. I thought of a way that her memory, the memories that I had of my sister, would last forever. And I thought of something that women like besides clothes, money, and jewelry: shoes. And so I thought of the most beautiful thing that women could wear or possess. And the thought came to me as shoes. I never designed shoes before, but my sister's energy has been guiding me, has been inspiring me to do things that I would have never ever thought to do. And so hence Kai Collections was born. Kai, that's Kaae Collections. Kai stands for Kingya, my sister April, Angel Eli. Those are my children. So we make up Kai. And Kai means life in the Hebrew language. Kai means life. And so these are life shoes that I've created. And every shoe that I make, it's in honor of my sister while raising cancer awareness. The same as, a second, let's see if I can find it. The same as the tea that I make. I've got to show you my tea.
Nice.
Because since we've talked, I have launched a tea line.
Nice.
Yeah, so I have launched a tea line, Dr. Kingya's Holistic Meditative Tea. Right? Yeah. So what this does is it fights cancer, diabetes, and it helps with rheumatoid arthritis, any type of physical pain. And then obviously, I put my Reiki in it as well, right? So yeah, Dr. Kingya's Holistic Meditative Tea it's on the market right now. This is National Pancreatic Cancer Awareness Month. And in honor of my sister and those victims of pancreatic cancer, I am doing pre-orders for my tea and asking donations for the products, at least $10 per bag.
And this is the link you gave me, right?
Say it again, brother.
That's in the link tree you gave me, right?
Yeah, everything should be in there. Yeah. This is what one of the empty bottles look like. This is a 12 ounce, and this is a 8 ounce. Okay. So yeah, then the bottles they're gonna have the story of my sister and how we began, how we got started, and all that great stuff, the inspiration and all that. So yeah, it is definitely it's been interesting because I didn't intend on making this tea, right? But this tea it's an anti-inflammatory and it has antioxidants in it, cinnamaldehyde. So you already know it's got the works in it, right? And then it's got my love in it and my energy. So not only does it elevate you, it's a holistic meditative tea. So when you are zenning, you're gonna be zoning, you're gonna be elevating, you're gonna be relaxed, you're gonna be calm. It's gonna do everything it needs to do for you, right? So it's all love. And I appreciate the opportunity of being able to share that with you guys. And if anyone's interested in any of the services that I provide, definitely hit me up. If you, I do podcasts as well. You guys can hit me up if you want to be on my podcast at kingyaspeaks at gmail.com. And if you're interested in the tea or any of my consultation services, you can hit me up at drkingya at gmail.com. That's DrKingya, Dr. Kingya at gmail.com. Yeah, for
Beautiful.
sure.
Beautiful, beautiful.
For sure. Every Wednesday in the month of November, I am exercising, I'm working out, I'm doing something live on Instagram, and I'm encouraging everyone to support the Pancreatic Cancer Wellness Challenge with me. Every Wednesday at 6 o'clock a.m., 5 o'clock p.m., we gonna get it in. Like this past Wednesday, I was jumping rope. I almost bust my butt. I ain't jumped rope in so long, but it's a weighted jump rope. It's 1 pound cross weighted jump rope. I managed to jump rope for 1 minute. Next week, my goal is 2 minutes. So I got to work up and build up my endurance to get to jump rope 2 minutes. All right. So that's my wellness challenge. So anyone that's able-bodied to join me on this challenge, I encourage you to follow me on my Instagram page at Kingya Speaks.
Challenge has been issued.
Say it again, brother.
So the challenge has been issued.
Yeah, the challenge has been issued. So definitely, for sure.
And I think we're on the second round of questions.
All right, sweet. My turn or yours?
It's your turn.
It's my turn. What is the most important thing that inspires you about life?
Wow, I would say discovery. Honestly, I would say now, I truly believe that everybody has the ability to harness energy within their soul that can tap them into, their greatest dreams and stuff that they didn't even think was possible. So, I truly believe we live in a super magical life where we can overcome the limitations of this system and really live and manifest the life that we want. And so, the everyday magic and synchronicity of life inspires me to know that at any, you're one decision away from changing your life. So I've really been coming into greater inspiration of that, where it's like we have the power. I've always used to think it was corny when people say that everything you want is within you, but like I've come to learn that it's so true. And so I feel like magic inspires me, being able to take your power back and the force and tapping into that inner power. So that's more of what I want to really step into and share that message and remind people that you don't have to worry about a single thing, that you can literally take control and influence over your life instantly just with the thought, So yeah, really great question. And my third question for you is, I'm kind of, because I wanted to ask about your podcast and how that came about. Is there any, I don't know if you mentioned it when you shared your story, you kind of vaguely did, but like, yeah, what's the story with your podcast? Because that's also really awesome too.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that. About 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I struggled with self-expression. I struggled with being able to effectively communicate and share my inner truths, share my inner self with the world. Yeah, I dibble dabble with poetry when I was 14, and it kind of helped me throughout the years learn to speak to myself. So it was recently maybe the last couple years, because I've always been a private person. I'm very extrovert now, as far as being in the community, being a social justice advocate, fighting for our rights, all that stuff. I'm gung ho. I'm about that life. Meet me at the front line. I'm on the front line, okay? But when it comes to my personal life, what goes on at home stays at home. I've always been that person. I grew up that way. That doesn't work for me anymore because I'm a lion. I have to roar. I have to stretch. I have to move around my pride. I have to be myself. And I'm not myself when you're telling me to be quiet, when you're silencing me, when you're marginalizing me, and no more. I'm not a caged bird. I'm a lion. So I have to roar. So this is my roar. This is the way I roar and get my feelings out. This is the way I deal with my past traumas, my past hurts. This is the way that I heal. This is the way that I become a blessing to you. This is the way that I heal our youth. This is the way that I give back to my mother, Mother Earth. This is the way that I give back to our babies. So my podcast is an opportunity for me to continue the work that my sister did not get a chance to do, the philanthropic work. This is an opportunity for me to reach masses of people through my words, from my thoughts to your hearts. So this is my stage. That's it.
I love it. That was said like a true Leo. Said like a true Leo. A true lion, if anything, a true lion king. That's what's up. And yeah, that's beautiful. Shout out to Sanchia who expressed that too, and really rising up to the self-expression of yourself, which I think is a lot of why we do what we do too, and it's just so inspiring and essential, really. So oh, shout out to Shana Andrea. When you said give back to Mother Earth, her body got chills. That's beautiful.
I love you guys. Shouts out to all of you guys. I'm on Clubhouse. I'll be on the Clubhouse tonight at 7:00 p.m. Central Standard Time Zone. Download the Clubhouse app. I got to do that when I get off of here with you guys. I got to create the room. Every Thursday, I do a relationship Thursdays where I'm asking men and women to come together. Let's talk about our differences. Let's talk about the things that we got in common. Let's put our differences aside. It's not about judgment. It's about having a transparent, fluid conversation with the opposite sex about what's going on with you, what's going on with me. And so we're in that time where we need that. And so I would like to invite all of you guys to join me tonight on the Clubhouse. Sanchia, I appreciate you. I hope I said your name right. All of you guys, Jackie, I appreciate you guys so much. I got you. I got you. So you guys have a way of reaching out to me. I'm not sure if I can post my email and stuff in there. It's already on there for them.
Linktree?
Yeah. No, my email's not in Linktree. No.
I can edit that right now. And
I got you.
We do have one more question. So what was the question? And you can type that in the private chat to your email.
Oh, I don't know how to do all that. It's cool. Let me see. Actually, I got 2 pages. You've seen my other page though, right? Dr. Kingya on Instagram.
Oh yeah, you do have 2 pages. I was wondering about that.
So initially, that was my first page, and it was really more a private page. It was really for my family and stuff, but I just had to get rid of a lot of hate. I had to get rid of a lot of toxic people, and so I'm cleaning out my house. So I haven't been on that page in so long. On that page, it's real intimate stuff. It's got my children. It's got the social activism work that I was doing, and still do, but that I was really doing on the front line and stuff. And so I had to take a step back from all that because when I was going through what I was going through, I didn't have anyone there supporting me. I was losing my sister. I didn't have the community there supporting me. But I'm on the front line every time somebody gets shot, killed, hurt. I'm on the front line fighting for these other people's families, for their children. But guess what? My life is on the line every day. I'm on the front line. My children are at home or someone's watching my children while I'm out here on the front line, and no one cares about that.
Yeah.
So I had to take a few steps back and really think about this thing. And so I'm always going to be a social justice advocate. I'm always going to be passionate about our people, but we got to be smart. There's other ways to do this. We got to use the tools that we have. And I'm also a projector. So I don't
Oh yeah,
have the time and energy.
nice. Same
I don't
shout.
have that anymore. I don't have
Right.
that anymore.
That's awesome. No, I'm so glad to know you're a projector. And to answer your question, Sharon, if you click on the link tree, the link to his clubhouse is there, so you'll see it. And I put the email kingyaspeaks
Uh-oh, you're
at
freezing.
gmail.
You're breaking up again, brother.
Oh yeah, likewise. Basically the kingyaspeaks at gmail.com. I updated the email, and then also on the link to the link tree, you'll see the clubhouse profile.
Yeah, everything is pretty much there. There's even a donate button on there as well for those that want to donate, and those that want any tea. You can also donate. A minimum of $10. You got to take into consideration that I got to ship it to you. So I'd say $20. $15, $20 would be more appropriate. And it's for a cause. It's for a great cause, right? So not only are you investing in me, but you're also investing in yourself. And we are looking at we're going to have our tea in Atlanta, Georgia. So if you're in the Atlanta, Georgia area, we're going to have our tea in Atlanta, Georgia. And I'm going to put this out there in the universe right here, right now. I'm going to say it. Dr. Kingya's Holistic Meditative Tea will also be in the new Black Wall Street Market in
Nice.
Stonecrest, Atlanta, Georgia. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to say it. I'm going to claim that. That's what I want. That's what I desire. It's going to happen. There it is.
And so it is. Ashe.
I say.
Oh, I think you have one more question to ask me.
What's next for you?
You know what? I'm starting this new moon cycle in Scorpio. For my whole life, I've been flirting. I've been, I don't want to say battling, but I've been kind of overcoming like my marijuana addiction and just kind of like eating healthier, so I can safely say finally. I'm not gonna say finally because it's not like one time thing. I've been doing it, but now I'm more keeping super consistent to this now. So I'm restarting with the new moon cycle, my tolerance break, and I've done 1 month of working out. I'm on month 2. I'm going to kick that back on, and I'm going to I'm going to be cleansing. I'm going to do like a gut cleansing biome, and I really want to take my mental and spiritual health so much more seriously. I've really come into these talents and abilities, but I've been stuck on how to put it all together and put my life together as a result. So I'm fine. That's what's next for me. I'm finally there. I'm gonna be eating healthier. I'm gonna be replacing daily weed smoking with daily meditation, online classes, exercise, and I'm gonna be looking forward to see my body transform, and I'm gonna be bartering astrology and Reiki lessons with you. So I'm looking forward to that.
And you got to have your tea. You got to have your tea, brother. You got to have your tea. That tea is going to help you with everything. That tea is going to help you.
I actually want to drink more tea and coffee. I can incorporate that more too. So
yeah,
it's a whole.
What's interesting, really quick, is with the tea. My sister's nickname was T. We called her T, and it didn't dawn on me until after I was making it. And I looked at the labels a few days ago, and I thought about it. I'm like, this is my sister T.
Wow.
She's with me.
And no, I like it. And just real quick in conclusion, could you explain everything that's on the link tree for anyone, how people can reach you or what you offer?
Yeah, I don't even know everything that's on Linktree. It's mostly my podcast. It's mostly my podcast stuff. There's a donation button on there for those that want to donate. I actually just created something else where you guys can book me for speaking engagements or book me for sessions, Reiki sessions. I'm trying to connect it to my Instagram, but it's not letting me. So I'll be posting that soon because I have that. But yeah, it's just a way to get in contact with me. Like I got a clubhouse. So we talk about relationships on Thursday, Wellness Wednesday. We talk about mental health awareness and what you can do to heal, right? And I also offer my Reiki services on Thursdays after the clubhouse. I offer it as a service, right? So donations. I have been doing this since 2016. And honestly, I've been doing it just out of the kindness of my heart. I've never charged anyone for my Reiki services. And now that has to change. Even while being homeless, I never charged anyone for my Reiki services. I was homeless for 3.5 years. In
That's deep.
4 years, I came out of it. Now it's a new beginning for me. I was just invited to Africa to do a speaking engagement in December. It'll be
Okay.
my first time out of the country. I'm looking
Wow.
forward to it.
Gonna
And I'm
love it.
looking forward to building healthy, holistic relationships with you guys. So stay in touch. We're going some places.
No, definitely. I think this is the beginning of something amazing. And so, personally, uh, in conclusion, what final word of advice do you have for people walking this path?
Own your truth.
Amen. I love
Speak
that.
your truth. No excuses. Get it done.
Right.
That's it. Time out for excuses.
Yep.
Get it done. This is as big as I've been all my life. And I'm working on me. I'm a work in progress every day. I'm fighting for my life every day. I'm fighting to live healthier, to live a holistic lifestyle. You know, I thought I found my twin flame. We talked about that last time,
Yep. Yep.
but she's married. And no, I'm not gonna wait till she's divorced. I'm gonna find me another twin flame. Oh my god.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
This is great, man. This is great. I love
No.
it.
And once again, this was an amazing peace talk. Y'all stay blessed as always. Make sure you hit up Dr. Kingya, subscribe to his Instagram, subscribe to his pages. You'll see that in the link tree below. And brother, thank you so much again. We're definitely going to keep in touch. And yeah, we're going to have a new moon ceremony in 40 minutes. Make sure to stay tuned. And until next time, peace out.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Follow me on YouTube, Dr. Kingya Speaks.
Make sure you
I need
subscribe.
some subscribers.